Okay, now that we've made our little kitchen clean, here's tonight's meal. I'm making tagliatelle, and our ingredients are as follows. It's a pasta dish. Usually I'd make my own, but to save time tonight, and this is the first video, I'm just using pre-made pasta. Other ingredients: bacon, unsmoked back bacon, fresh mushrooms, single cream, pesto sauce, and for that little extra touch, grated Parmesan cheese. The first thing you do is measure out enough pasta to feed as many people as you're feeding, and you'll put this pasta into a saucepan, so bear with me while I do that. I always say about 4 handfuls per person with this particular meal because of the ingredients that you're going to add to it later. So, into your saucepan you put 4 handfuls of pasta per person. And into the same saucepan of pasta you put enough water so that the pasta is completely submerged and there's a little bit on top of it. Then put it on the hob and boil it until the pasta is completely soft. I do this on a medium heat myself, but for different hobs it will vary. Oh, and while I wait for the pasta to boil, it strikes me that there's something I haven't done yet. Since Kate did complete her lab report on time, even if she did lose under the lab report in the process, word is word, so I said I'd dedicate this one to Kate. This one's for you. Try the priest. Also, while the pasta's boiling, take a knife. I'm only going to use a little knife myself. You want to slice up the bacon and the mushrooms. Dice the mushrooms and make little strips out of the bacon. This could take me a while, so I'll just show you mine when it's done. Okay, as promised, here is the completed chopped bacon and mushrooms. Now the amount you do of each is strictly to taste, but I'm rather an avid meat eater, which is why you see such a lot of bacon. And note that I've left the fat on because that's another taste of mine. And the mushrooms, will eventually they'll absorb the flavour of everything else, so I've got quite a few of those because they end up turning out really nice. Tagliatelle is an Italian pasta dish, and nerds will like it because it covers meat, it's got vegetables, it's got wheat as well, and the sauce is quite nice. It covers everything you need in food. Good taste, a rather odd colour, and all the nutrients and vitamins you need. Another lesson for you out there: sometimes when you put things on to boil, they can get out of control. I'm going to show you something that I've done on purpose as a demonstration. This is my pasta as it's beginning to boil. Now, for the sake of this video and for the education of nerds everywhere, I'm going to let it froth over. While we wait for that, frothing over, as defined, is when the water reaches boiling point, in nerd terms, and it starts bubbling and rising. Possible consequences of this can be loss of too much water, which will eventually have your pasta sticking to the pan, and if you're doing the washing up, believe me, you don't want that. And if water goes over the side, it will land on the hob and make incredibly cool but somewhat annoying hissing noises. So I'm going to turn the heat down, which is the solution, because I don't want my pasta to overboil. a good way to test if your pasta is done is to take a mini fork and to grab a shell of the pasta that you're cooking and eat it, because pasta is equally healthy or non-healthy whether cooked or uncooked, and the taste is the same. The only thing it changes is the texture. Now pasta is one of the things you can cook to taste. I personally like mine to be soft, so if this is crunchy I'm going to leave mine to boil a little more. Don't burn yourselves. My pasta is crunchy, so it can stay on the boil a little longer. There, you are my slaves. Wait, time to check the pasta again. It might be worth adding a little something about the pesto sauce. Again, I've bought my own, but it's a herb sauce. Sort of. It's Italian. The variety I have here is made primarily of basil, but there exists also a coriander pesto. Pesto sauce goes well with salads, pasta and potatoes, so don't be surprised if you see me using it again in a future video. Bloody hell, this pasta's taking ages. I've got enough time to take the hobbits to Isengard. Next thing you've got to do is drain all the pasta, get rid of all the water you boiled it with. Try not to drop too much pasta in the sink. I know this is a pain. I'm holding it in the pan using the fork while I tip the pan. Okay, with the water successfully drained from the pasta, I'm now going to add in the bacon and mushroom. With pasta, mushroom and bacon in the same pot, it's time to crack open the pesto sauce. Throw that in the pot as well. As you can see, it's all green. But that colour green is too dark and the pesto sauce has a strong flavour and will come across too strong. So we take our cream and we open it and we pour in about 3 tablespoons per person you're cooking for. I'm hoping very much that you've altered the amounts of the ingredients based on who's eating. But now that I've put the cream in, everything looks a slightly lighter shade of green. Now, there are uncooked ingredients in the pot, namely the bacon and the mushroom. So, put it back on the hob. On a fairly high heat, we're going to blitz this now. And keep stirring it. This part gets a little noisy. So, 1 Nerdfighter plate, or you take your powdered Parmesan cheese, and you apply it over the top of the foods you've laid out on the plate. This isn't compulsory, it's just an added flavour that I personally rather like. And of course, the finished article, Tagliatelle, containing pasta, bacon, mushrooms, cream, pesto sauce and a grating of powdered Parmesan cheese. Nerd fighters everywhere, tuck in.